poor. Okay. So if I look at this, seems to be working. I just got errors in YouTube. It's complaining about my resolution. Stream status is poor. This says public. Oh man, I've tried logging in like 3 times and it keeps messing up. Okay, we're just gonna live with it. Text chat is just gonna be on my other monitor. Okay, so it looks like everything's working. We're just gonna run with it. And I hear myself and I don't know where I'm coming from. Okay. See, we don't need that. Okay, so I'm using Codex and Xcode together to make an app. I'm doing a video game. It's Raptor Call of Shadows. And a new window. So I think you just see me. Yes. So then, if you have any questions, I'll occasionally do like a chat. Let's try left side. Does that work? It worked. Cool. So what I'm trying to make is something similar to this game. So I grew up playing this a lot. It was a lot of fun. And you can buy it on Steam. I don't know if my audio is going to play this. But the audio is great in this game, and it's just a lot of fun. You've got these fun shooting effects. So you can move your fighter. There's a little bit of character animation. There's some shadow stuff. The shadow light source is actually not constant. It's a little bit weird. It's like a weird light. It's almost like a point light in the middle of the screen, maybe. It's not a realistic sun light source. So that threw me for a loop, but it like gives it a certain style and symmetry. You've got boss fights, you've got explosions. I had worked on a game similar to this a long time ago with SpriteKit. Then there's upgrades. I love the upgrades. There's like an auto turret that would be amazing to build. So I think we're going to try and do something. This came out remastered in 2015, which is super cool. So like this is the list of stuff. Auto cannon. I don't know what it's called. Do you have a list of weapons? It might be on the wiki. And so I built this out yesterday with Codex. And so if we just take a real quick look at this, if I go ahead and run this, this is a Mac app running with SpriteKit. I can control the character. I can shoot. I thought I had, I don't think I actually had enemies shoot me. I think I must misremember that. I had it auto-generate this artwork. And so that was kind of cool. And so now the goal is to figure out like what could we do with this to make something interesting and just sort of see how far we can take it. So here's the weapons. Where do I get? All right, so this is awesome. I would love to add this auto track minigun. That was like one of my favorite upgrades, as well as like the laser turret. Something like that would be really cool. And then there's all these other death ray guns, and they all have different pricing, and so you you upgrade them. So it was like a super simple game concept. The dodging mechanic is super fun, and I just sort of did something, and I'm gonna have to think about which direction I want to go because the auto cannon was super cool. Missiles are kind of cool, but I think like the auto, let's call it the auto track minigun. And then we had the laser turret, also really cool. So I wanna give Codex some tasks to do, and why don't we just see if it can add the auto turret? So I didn't want that. And we'll just go over to Codex. I had it fix something with my skill. My skill lets me make Mac apps and stuff like that. So we're going to say with the dictation, can you add the auto turret cannon just as an example of a gameplay mechanic? And can we turn it on? I forget what keyboard shortcut in Raptor Call of Shadows like switched guns. But can you, I think this is an auto thing. So once we apply it, so let's make it like a power up on the map. And if I intersect with it, um, just just make it give me the ability, and then it enhances my gun. So I get my normal gun, and then I get the auto turret gun, and then I'll be able to shoot down enemies faster. All right, so let's hit stop dictation. Okay, we'll get rid of that. I will paste in some of the description. Well, that's kind of weird. Okay. And let's see what it can do. So this is it's compacting. Where does it show my compaction? I'm going to hide the bottom bar. And don't need this. Okay. Hopefully we're not broken here. I wonder if this tells us what the keyboard shortcuts were. I don't remember. So these were always fun. This is like from, I think Doom and Quake did this first with like Rookie, Veteran, and Elite. I was always Rookie growing up because I was really bad at this game. You activated different things. You could sell equipment so that you could buy something new. Okay, so the keyboard, we had spacebar was Mega Bomb. Right now I have that for shooting, so we need to change it to control, arrow keys, alt, cycles, your weapons. Okay, can I select this text? We're gonna have to ask Codex to do that because right now I just have on spacebar. I kind of like spacebar for shooting. If it was, what's it gonna be? Control, fires, guns, and the selected specials. So let's see what Codex is figuring out over here. We look at the diff panel. We can see all the changes that it made. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And I'll hide the file viewer. It looks like we've got auto and standard. Interesting. Don't know what that means. Ooh, it added a bunch of stuff here. I thought I might need a plan mode, but this might like, ooh, it's doing math. I think there was a little hover thing. I don't remember exactly, or am I mixing up games? Okay, so can you fix? I'm using Whisperflow now, so that will just insert text as I'm talking, or I just hold this Control M for dictation. And if I let go, it stops. Okay. Can you switch the shooting key to control? That's what it was traditionally. And then the alt was to cycle weapons, I believe. And then spacebar was for Mega Bomb. We currently don't have Mega Bomb, but we need to add that. I think you start with maybe 1, and that lets you kill all enemies on screen. Okay, we'll just give it a task. And let's see if we can run this new version. So hopefully my new makefile allows us to shoot. T. Do we have an auto turret? Do I have to pick it up? Is it this guy? Okay. Okay, so it's not orienting the shot. So the shot should... We probably need a video of what this looked like. But we now have an auto turret cannon. And I have different tile maps. So if we find that power up, there it is. Okay, so it's drawing them. So it needs to be a different bullet type. So we'll just ask it to change the bullet type. For the bullet type, can you make it so that it's like a bullet? It needs to be, like, tiny and it can't be long. Um, it has to be like a fast-moving bullet, so it's tiny and basically a 1 to 4 pixel circle. I don't know how big we need to make it. That way we don't have weird lines going sideways. It looks weird when it's shooting sideways. So we'll stop that. Right now it's making additional changes. You can see my messages here. We're going to have it update this, and I'm just going to go ahead and send this right now. So that's going to give it something else to work on, and let's try this other tile map. So I need more gameplay. Like this needs to give me more waves or something. I think the player characters might need to be a little bit bigger. So we'll ask it to do that as well. Can you make it so that we have 10 waves, and can you make the characters a little bit bigger, maybe twice the size? That might be too big, so maybe 1.5 times the size. Let's start there, and then make it so we can easily tweak the size to get the sizing correct for all the game characters. We're gonna have to figure out what the proper size is for these things. Okay, so we'll just give it that. If we look at, oh, is this not under version control? Okay. If Let's ask for another thing. So, if it builds and runs, can you make a initial commit for the project? I don't want to keep adding tons of stuff without having some safety net here. How would you describe the music in Raptor Call of Shadows? Is it MIDI music? Can you help me describe it so that I can ask something to create a music track for me? Okay, so let's see what happens. Ships don't look bigger. Okay, it moved my shooting, but whoop, not sure what happened there. Oh, ships are bigger. I've got the auto turret, but the player character did not get bigger. The player character is not any bigger. Can you make this a little bit bigger? It should match the enemy size that you've adjusted. I think we might want 1.4 as our multiplier for the size. Hmm. Okay, so let's run it. Player doesn't look any bigger. Did it actually run? What's that? Oh, restart the game. The player character doesn't look any bigger. Can you make it bigger? I see it here, but it didn't seem to affect unless there's some kind of scale operation. Are we able to use accessibility? If we have the align tool, I would be curious if you can actually see what the size of the character is on screen compared to our game canvas and measure it. If we don't have accessibility, can you add accessibility identifiers to SpriteKit, or is that not a thing? It's making its own accessibility metadata. This is awesome. Oh no, I took damage. Something is wrong with the shooting. I don't think took damage again. I think enemies are a little too big. Um, maybe not. Okay, so we've got 800 by 500. Player character is 65 over 82. Enemies, I mean, they're different sizes, but we're going to use ChatGPT. Can you give me approximate sizes for these game characters? I've sort of snapshotted them along with the game canvas just to get an idea of how big the game characters are to the canvas so that we can give Codex-Spark some insights onto how big to make the players and the enemies. This always fails. Okay. So Spark can't do images, but I can just do ChatGPT for these images and we can do something with that. Okay, so this was our size. That makes sense. Okay, so let's hand this off. We need a game design document for the sort of size of gameplay elements in the game. Hey, Jimmy. Um, I just got the rough specs of what we need to use here. Can you create some kind of game design doc that just gives us some proportions so that we know how to create the content? We're going to need to make a level editor soon, and I just want to earmark this stuff so that we can plan it out. We'll need to adapt all the enemies based on these sort of size constraints. The sizing is just a rough guideline. Like depending on the enemy ship, we're going to have them at different sizes. Okay, so let's just give that to it. Okay, so go back to our beach map. I don't know where my power up went. I think it just randomly spawns. There it is. I'm supposed to have 10 waves now, so we'll see if we have 10 waves. Okay, so I've got the auto cannon. We can barely see it though it does look a little bit better. Might need to be a brighter texture, and we can. But my shooting, I cannot shoot anymore, so that's a problem. Okay, it's already done that. Holy cow! Whoa! Oh, this is so cool. Wow. This could be really good. Oh, and it even started thinking about enemies, ground. Okay. Did you apply any of these sizes to the in-game characters? Can we make it so that we're driving stuff from JSON files rather than code? Sort of like how you have here. Can we load the size information from JSON? Is that what you recommend moving forward? And the control key is not shooting, so something's wrong with our hotkeys. I can't shoot anymore. The bullets need to be like whiter. I don't know if they're like transparent or if they're gray, but they have no contrast. Maybe we need a little bit of drop shadow on them. I'm not sure. It's really hard to see what you're shooting. Can you try and fix some of those things so that we can actually shoot again? And my primary weapon needs to be like kind of like bullets, like what we're shooting with the autocannon, but they've got to go straight forward. We'll have lasers later on. That'll be separate, but let's not do that just yet. And let's see what this looks like. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I don't know if it's committed any of this stuff yet. So let's see. What is this? So it's refactored the sizing for the characters. Dude, this is insane. I'm gonna run out of coffee. So while that's editing, we'll just. Okay. Still going. All right, our agent is named Bob. Bob is making everything possible right now. I'm just the playtester. Okay, I think he might be done. Okay, character looks a little bit bigger. I think we need drop shadows now. Like there's no shadows. So let's ask for that. Can you please add shadows like in Raptor? The shadows were on the ground. The light source was kind of like center of the screen, I think. It wasn't a true sun, but it gave this like parallax depth to all the characters. So the shadow could be offset by 1 to 2 character lengths on the far edges, and then it would sort of get closer and closer once you were in the center. It's semi-transparent shadows. Okay, game over. We lost or it reset. So let's start over. What do you want me to do? Move my avatar to the right of is my am I? I haven't looked at the stream. Am I sitting on the got it. Okay, so am I on the right side now? What is going on? Oh no. Control is problematic. Okay, we can shoot now with our autocannon. But my forward shot. Oh, how do I take control? For control to work, if I'm in windowed mode on Mac, it is doing spaces when I am holding control and pressing left and right arrow. Can we make it? What am I looking for? Can we take over the control key so it doesn't do that when this app is active? Or do I need to go into full screen like game mode? How does that work? Okay, so we'll just have it work on that. What did it just add? It added shadows? Oh, let's check this out. Dude, this is so crazy. Okay. Oh, that light source is a little weird. I don't know if you can see the shadow. I can see it like right underneath me. It's not quite right. Am I right in how that works? Is there another gameplay video? No, of course not. All right, so this is wave 1. Okay, so this is the start. So you've got, I don't even have that effect. That would be cool. So the shadow is totally not correct at all. I'm totally wrong on how the shadow works. Um, The shadow is totally not realistic at all. Oh, I have to get the money. Okay, our shots are like something that like rotates, it looks like. It looks like it's a spinning like 6-pixel shot. Oh, there's boats. I forgot about that. And there is some darkness to it, and it's like rotating. So okay, what did we do? Bob is like crushing it. Okay, so what did it do? How do I go into game mode? How do I go into game mode to override this behavior? Do we have a shortcut or a button for that? Oh, I think Bob is committing. We are clean. When you commit, can you make sure you add your name, Bob, as the agent who is doing this as GPT-5.3-Codex-Spark? Okay, did we get the other thing to happen? Control Command F. Okay, let's see if that fixed it. So let's go ahead and hit the run button. Oh, the run button doesn't work. I don't know, Jimmy, if you're here, but the run button doesn't work if I've got my Git log up. I submitted a separate ticket for this. Okay. And if I have text down there, it fails. This is super cool. Did something not work? There we go. Game mode. Oh yeah. Okay, control. Still doesn't have control. We might have to make spacebar shoot again. I don't know. WASD works, arrow keys work. Control does not work. Oh, my shadow is in the wrong spot. What is this? The area? It gave me an area calculation in the top left corner. That's a little weird, but okay. This keyboard shortcut doesn't work. Whoa. That game mode stuff is not working. I thought there's a special way to override or take control of these global keyboard hotkeys. What's going on here? So I'm just asking like how it would describe the light source because it's like stylized and it's not realistic. That's totally not right. Okay, so I'm giving access to accessibility features for what? Raptor. We need a game icon. It's the shadows that I'm trying to replicate. Like they're totally not right. I think we'll just do traditional shadows underneath, kind of like in StarCraft. So give me something like how the drop ships and like stuff work in StarCraft, so that we can maybe try that. How far away do we need to keep them to give a sense of height for the airplanes and spaceships? Offset. That's not right. So I'm gonna just have it use StarCraft and estimate the shadow. Let's see if we can figure that out. I think it's got to be something like this. 10 to 14 pixels is definitely not enough. It's definitely more than that. Let's just try it. Can you change the light source calculations to a sane shadow? It's not working for me. I asked GPT to sort of analyze the StarCraft dropship shadow. I want something sort of like that. I think we're just going to have a fixed light source, like a normal sun, and see how that looks. I don't know if it's going to be weird because the shadow is kind of an indicator of where the ships are coming. So we might need to replicate the Raptor shadows to make this feel better. Do we have an uncommitted change here? It beat me to writing code before I could even run it. Okay, did it already finish? It's still thinking. Okay, so Bob is working. Okay, we've got our auto turret. wish we had an idea of how that worked. Okay, so I need to have 2 bullets on either side, so I've got to shoot 2 bullets. So bullets need to realistically come from where the guns are, which would be under the wings. So that's going to be next on our list of things to fix. Got missiles. We could see if it's able to do an animation. I don't know how that's going to work. So this level, you only have missiles. Do we get auto turret somewhere down here? It's a lot of missiles. So he's working on getting the missile pod. Spotting shields. Here we go. All right, so, ooh. All right, so now he's got it active, and it's just like normal shot, but it is additional to, I think it's 2, and it could go to 2 different enemies. Oh, but he doesn't always have it active, so he only had it active there. Okay. Bow, bow, bow. Oh, that looks so bad. Okay, that looks better, but oh, I just destroyed everything with the mega bomb, and now I'm out of mega bombs. Still can't shoot. The enemies feel a little big to me. The enemies feel a little big to me. Can you make them slightly smaller? Are we matching the size proportions that we came up with in the design doc, or are we a little bit bigger than we should be? Either that or the player character is a little bit too small. The shadows, is it possible to more closely match the geometry of the shape of the ship, or is that going to be problematic for you? Like, would you be able to sort of skew it a little bit since it's already transparent and then kind of map it to the ground? Actually, I don't think it's a terrible that it's straight below it because that does give you the indication of where it's coming from, which I think is the context we need. I like the distance that we have. I just wish it sort of matched the shape so that it gave some visual identity to the actual spaceship coming down. And then for the guns, can you make spacebar shoot again, and then let's make the bomb like, I don't know, shift, just so that we can play test this a little bit better because I can't use a control key right now. Even full screen didn't work last time I tried. I'll try again. And then for the bullets, can you make bullets come from both sides of the jet fighter? So it has to come from underneath the wing. Can you change it so that the Z order makes the bullet under the wing so it's not on top of the wing? And then for the autocannon, we need to have 2 streams of bullets coming out from the top of the center of the airplane. We're going to give all that to Codex, and it's going to rip on that. Let's go into game mode. So, okay, so game mode's problematic. I have to restart. Our canvas size changed, but our player characters did not. So that's a problem. Still can't shoot. We can find that power up, we'll be able to start taking things down. Oh, took a hit. I'm going to be interested if it can animate some stuff. And I lost the power up, so that's kind of bummer. Does T give me the power up? No. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we finally have a gun. The gun needs to not come from the cockpit. I think if it came from the center of the airplane, it would look a lot better. And let's exit full screen. Yeah, let's rerun it. Oh, on start, it's in the wrong position. On level start, the shadow is in the wrong spot. It's not below the player. It's like in front of them. It doesn't make any sense. Let's see if we can shoot. Oh, we can shoot again. Now shots are coming from too far over, but at least it's a little bit better. They're not going. Are they going straight forward? Okay. Can you bring the bullets in like 10 to 20 pixels on each side so that they're closer to the center where a gun might be located for like a Gatling gun on the wing, still coming from underneath? And then can you change the bullet shape so that they actually are like a 6-pixel thing with like a little drop shadow that rotates as it is flying? Mostly whitish with like a bluish gray drop shadow ish to give it a little bit of depth. It's somewhere on the order of like 2 by 6 or 2 by 8 with a shadow. I don't know exactly what, and it's rotating in a circle. We need to animate that. And when it comes out of the ship, they're spinning. I think they spin each one's clockwise, the other is counterclockwise. So counterclockwise on the left side and then clockwise on the right side. So we'll try that just to see if it looks interesting. Is my stream still going? Am I having hiccups with meld? Is my video having playback issues or anything like that? Did this finish? Oh, baby. Okay. Did YouTube fail? It doesn't look good to me. Mel doesn't look happy. Can you make them a little bit chunkier? Maybe it's like 3 by 6 and make them rotate a little bit faster. Are we getting 60 frames a second? It just feels like it's not quite there. I don't know what did this maybe this was 30 frames a second, but let's just try 60 frames a second, see how that looks. That does not look great. Okay. We might have to start the stream over again. Okay, that's totally not working. Ah, so easy. Okay. Uh-huh. Can you make the auto turret shot come from underneath the center of the airplane? And then can you pull back the normal shot so that its origin is back maybe 5 to 6 pixels? Um, and that needs to be relative to the size of the image. So make sure that if we're like resizing stuff, it's a relative position, whatever that calculation comes out to. Okay, so we're gonna try and restart this.